Well, hi, Jibbers, hi, I'm back. 41 years in Mills and Boone. And you know when I read a Mills and Boone novel? And it's so ridiculous, it's unbelievable. These two characters and their angst. Okay, what do you mean read a Mills and Boone? It's a book in general. This one is so stupid. It's under the Harlequin Presents, thank you to Uxbridge Library. You have it. And it's by Rachael Thomas, Martinez, pregnant wife. Okay, so stupid. Expecting her husband's baby. When Lisa Martinez last saw her estranged husband, Maximiliano, she was walking out on their relationship for good. Her heart and dignity in tatters after once more giving in to the temptation of Max's seduction. She knew divorce was her only option, except Lisa's heartbreaking plans are halted by an unexpected 9-month consequence. Max never wanted a family, so Lisa is appalled when he refuses to relinquish his child and demands she return to their marriage bed. For the unborn baby's sake, Lisa agrees. There she hopes to find more than mindless pleasure in her husband's arms. So it opens up with the consequence of both of them waking up. Now, essentially, they're going to get divorced. The papers are there, sign them, go on your merry way. Okay? Or whatever divorce. They've never actually got divorced, but they have way too much wine, start reminiscing. They wind up doing the devil's tango. And it opens up with the Lisa's like, oh my god, we are way too much to drink. We had sex. And then just go their separate ways. Okay, and then, of course, on the day that Maximiliano, because he's got some serious issues with his family, finds out he's got this like illegitimate half-brother, okay, same day, Lisa turns up to say that she's pregnant. Oh yes, there you go. Right. I don't want children, that's why. He picked up the newspaper and shook it, anger making his movement sharp. It's all here. Don't you person have a bad childhood, Max? His gaze snapped to hers, and the one and only time they discussed her childhood, so visceral memory. When she told him she'd hated the family arguments, especially at Christmas. This is also doubles a Christmas book, if you will. Okay, right. But, here you go. Max, it's not possible. Not when you already made it clear you don't want me in your life. He's a step back from Max, away from the temptation of reaching out to him, to go to him and soothe his pain. He's dealing with two life-changing things in one morning. But from the cold expression on his face, neither of them had made any great impact other than to make him angry. He didn't want a brother or a baby. There wasn't a baby involved then, my baby. And that changes things. You're damn right it changes things. No, it doesn't. Her lifelong instinct to protect herself, stand up for herself, the fighter corner kicked in. I'm doing this on my own. No, the one word flung around the room and blinked in shock. She never seen Max so angry. Was she on about the baby? She known his reaction would be this bad? Yes. The answer fired back into her mind. She didn't want him to turn up when the child was older, as her father had done, creating hell in an already dysfunctional family, giving her false hope of being wanted, or being rescued by a later stepfather. So she's got issues with herself, okay? Now, her mother's never actually seen in this book, okay? But Lisa's mother is basically an arsehole who cared more about how the family educated her and was very emotionally abusive. Max's issue was that his father kept on going back and forth between two families, eventually left. He had a fantastic stepfather, but he just feels that he can't love. This story is about Max, who can't love. What's interesting in the case, Max is essentially, he is the head of a football team, okay? Now I'm saying this right now, okay, because football's in the air, because tonight that England are playing the Ukraine, okay? So, and so tonight 8 o'clock, so it's just times, I had to double check times. So football's in the air right now in the UK. So you'd think a book like this, okay, would have kind of football aspect to it. Like, Lisa would have gone to games, Lisa would know some players, that kind of thing, like footballers' wives and girlfriend wags, that kind of thing. Nothing, apart from Max was going to be a massive star, and then his injury, he had an injury and it would pay to it. That's it. Which I thought was a bit of a letdown. I mean, that would have been a great aspect to kind of go along with. I mean, you know, football's football, or if you're in America, soccer. Alright, don't say that in this country, whatever. Someone said to me, "Okay, oh, do you like soccer?" And I was like, what the hell's that? Oh, football, yeah, got it. Everton, by the way. Okay. But no, it never gets mentioned, which is a shame, okay? But Lisa, with her football ahead husband, here you go. Right, this bit here, it's about the marriage. A marriage is over, Max. She didn't dare mention that once she'd loved him so much, She thought never could ever change that. She mentioned the word love and that pushed her over the edge, she did, even if it didn't do that to him. Not until I returned the signed papers saying I agree to divorce, and right now I have no intention of doing that. So Max refuses to sign the papers. He refuses to divorce. He decides him and Lisa set this kind of like timetable to kind of try to rekindle their marriage, try to bring a spark back, and the spark was never really felt like there before. No really kind of explanation, okay, or why I got mad in the first place. Max kind of felt like I made it clear from the off start. He feels like he's incapable of love. Lisa wanted love. There was no indication of these two, why these two should have been together to start with, let them bring a child into this. Okay, and you think, okay, that Max lives in this kind of like swanky London apartment kind of thing, and well, Lisa, she kind of really wants the boring, not boring, she wants the cottage, she wants that kind of life, she wants the slower pace life. So even their lifestyles were compatible. So you were incompatible, sorry. There you go. hmm We just spent Christmas together. He looked into her eyes as they spoke, recalling all the plans they made during the first Christmas as a married couple, when they'd been on the honeymoon in the sunshine. He'd learned his new bride longed for a traditional Christmas in a cottage, complete with log fires, but no vision of spending the next Christmas like this. She stepped back from him and his touch, determination in her eyes. I'll give you until New Year. By the time I will sure you be asking, no demanding that I leave, and I will. Okay, okay, right. And it's interesting as well, okay, because obviously Max finds out he's got this half brother, okay, and they seem to be getting on quite well. He's a little bit standoffish because he's a product of, his father's illicit relationship. And it is quite complicated as well because when he meets his brother, he kind of sees how life could be. When he meets Raoul's family, how it could be, how they're actually really, really nice and understanding. If they just let love in, this is more Max's story than Lisa's, which is very, very rare for Mills and Boone. And I'm gonna give Rachel Thomas some respect to it. This is very much Max's story more than Lisa's. However, it doesn't change the fact, okay, that these two people I felt should never been married in the first place. Okay, alright. Anyway. Right. Raoul's mother reached out and laid her hand on his arm a second time. This time he had to fight hard against any instinct to pull away, avoiding the kind of contact. It was in his default setting, but somehow managed not to. Instead, he looked at her, trying to decipher what was going on through her mind. I don't blame you for any of this, he said, looking directly and earnestly into his eyes, just as his mother had done the day she told him the truth about his father. No, she didn't have long. Savagely, he pushed it to the back of his mind, and neither you must blame yourself. As only one person to blame, and he's no longer with us to accept that blame. The harsh words rushed to him in unaccustomed display of hurt. He took a deep breath, determined to lock himself behind his barrier, his wall protection. Just getting too close. This is Raoul's mother, his half brother. Okay? Everyone can see, okay, that Max has just got his walls up. He's just feels is incapable of after what happened to him. And yeah, it's absolutely heartbreaking what happened to him in some respects. But he just seems to think, because of what happened with my family, I can't love. What happened to Lisa, I can't love. And even though he actually has a little sister, okay, Angelina, who he is a very, very typical older brother, I guess. He likes to organise her life and tell her what to do. She's turning 21, becoming a woman, and turn up that kind of thing. Who I'd love to see her story continue as well. By the way, it's because what happened to his mother. Get this, okay? Because mother, even though Max's mother remarried a fantastic stepfather, by the way, which kudos to step parents out there. His mother was diagnosed with cancer and refused treatment because he was pregnant with Angelina, and then she died. Get this, okay? She was diagnosed while she was expecting Angelina and refused any treatment until after she'd been born. She didn't want to risk your little sister. She wanted her to live. But I don't want her to die. The worlds had torn him from the cry of a wolf, calling to the moon, and his stepfather had wrapped him in a solid embrace, trying to console him, trying to be there for him. But his own grief to nurse. Max had seen it and felt how much love hurt, how much it caused when the person you love left you, and the vow then shut the painful emotion out of his life for good. That's why he can't love, because he watched his mother die of cancer. The mother who previously, okay, was so broken-hearted because of the actions of Max's father, going back and forth between these two women, okay, and his shameful treatment. Yeah, the sins of our fathers, eh? The sins of our fathers. But that's the thing. This is what this book is. The problem with this book, as a book, is it keeps going on to that. There's nothing okay about Max's business, being a footballer, also being the, owning a football team. Nothing about that, the business side. It's all about I can't love, all my angst. And that gets really, really monotonous after a while. That's why I found this book so frustrating. It seems to be just going over and over the same emotion over and over again. Here you go. This bit here. Okay? Right, and then somehow, okay, even over all this, it gets this kind of fear, okay, so it's going to happen to Lisa because my mother got sick when she was pregnant with my sister. It's going to happen to Lisa. It's kind of needs therapy and lots of it. Right. Right. It's about Max and his mother. She had to make a terrible decision, but had done what any mother would and had protected her unborn child, but it still hurt like hell that she'd risked leaving him, leaving his baby sister. Now here he was, a father-to-be, waiting to be anything that would make life better for his unborn child, and could remain in marriage with a woman he'd once thought he could change his life, change him. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't let go of the pain of the past and allow love back into his life. Right. Or, yeah, exactly. He's so angsty. You're thinking this guy shouldn't be married, first of all. If he wants to split up with Lisa, then fine, so be it. That not stop the we've got to remain married. But this guy needs his therapy. And lots of it. But the thing is, within okay the week they're at this cottage and they're bonding and they're, yeah, having sex, fine. Max has to come around. Max has to come around, okay? Right. But of course, he is still so hard-hearted that even on Christmas, okay, the Christmas week, he still wants a divorce. This bit here. Right. You expect me to accept that you want a divorce and continue to act the part of loving wife. I will, of course, make it financially worth your while by substantial, that's a long word, settlement. I have no wish to give the press or Hardy's gossips any further ammunition to create headline news with. Therefore, I expect to act as you nicely put, the loving wife for the remainder of this evening and on New Year. You are cold-hearted, despicable mercenary. The smile he bestowed on her was on the surface real, but in reality it was formed in his hardest heart. Do you know what I mean? He seems to just play mind games with her emotions, going hot and cold on Lisa. You know, we have great sex. You make me feel like you're coming around. You want this life. You want happiness. But then say, oh, no. I still want a divorce. And then the fact is, okay, he's never ever discussed with Lisa the issues, okay, why he's so hard-hearted. It's because he lost his mother. There you go. Yeah, it takes Angelina to say that. Here you go. Right, this is why I think I love Angelina's story to go a sequel for Angelina's story. Maybe there is one. Right. Angelina swallowed and Lisa knew this was affecting her far more than she was letting on. That she too hid it behind her mask of being the bubbly lifeless older party to hide her pain, and that she was telling her the most guarded secret because it affected Max and affected her. Yes. I'm so sorry. She reached out and touched the young woman's arm, and for a moment the two of them were lost in their own world. That must be hard on you. Oh, yes, it is. Most because it made Max into a dominating brother or insisting that I do things his way. The arguments he had with my father had over everything from what school I should attend to what I should eat or where were impossible. Right. Yeah. He's controlling. It can be aggressive, very passive aggressive. He needs therapy. He needs therapy, okay? Right. But the thing is, in the end, okay, the climax of this isn't him coming around. Is his younger brother, Raul, turn around again, making him see sense. It's a bit here. Right. Right. What the hell are you playing at? Raul looked at him sternly as he launched his tirade, one he deserved to be bit off. He avoided love, telling Lisa what she wanted to hear, because he thought he could save her from hurt. But he only ever hurt her even more, and now she'd left him, just as everyone else had ever loved him. How even Angelina couldn't bear to be with him for long. He kind of knows he's pushing people away, but then kind of kind of complains about it. I push people away because I'm like this, where you got everyone saying that they're there for him. Once again, this guy needs therapy. However, with the countdown on New Year, Max turns to Lisa in a dress and says, I love you, I want to be with you, I'm what I fool I am. Raoul makes him see sense, and they are married. Okay, and then a year later, it's, well, he says, no, sorry, Raoul's wife's pregnant again. Pregnant. I think Lisa is as well, actually. So, right, oh no, no. Yeah, she's pregnant too. She's pregnant again, a second baby. Some bits of it I actually liked about this Mills and Boon novel. I like the fact that it actually was well written, but the fact is, okay, Max's business, being a footballer in that kind of world, I would like to have a little bit of focus on that. It seemed like this is what he does for a living, now move on, okay? They could also bring in, okay, the fact is his crippling injury made him feel like he was less than a man, you know, having to kind of pursue his life in a different direction, catch a sport that he loves, but deep down, I guess, filled with regret of what could have been. That would have been a nice touch. So, but no, you didn't have that. I like the fact that it focuses on men's mental health. I also like the fact it focuses on sins of the fathers. But at the same time, the angst between these two, between Max and Lisa, got so monotonous after a while. It's a book where nothing really happens about apart from what's in the characters on the head. There's no conflict. There's no kind of third party coming in. It's people just saying to Max, I love you and we love you. Please recognize that. Be happy. You have the right to be happy. So no conflict, no third party, just a character's angst. So Martinez Pregnant Wife by Rachel Thomas. Well written. I like the writing style, but in a way, sometimes you need some conflict. And it wasn't apart from what was in Max's own head. So, I guess I recommend and sign off here. Football Years and Elves and Boone. Bye now.